and welcome to Learning Music with Pat. I've been showing you various instruments and bringing in different kinds of instruments, so today I thought I'd bring in a couple. They're not really instruments, but they kind of are because they make sounds. This is a sound tube, and it's brightly colored, and it only cost me $1 in a dollar store. But you know what? They come in different colors. I've got a red one, a green one, and so forth, orange one, but I didn't need to bring all of them. But I do like the color yellow. And what happens when you make sounds, you compress air and you push air, the molecules get traveling and they travel together and they get pushed. So when I take this, you'll notice this is just an empty tube. I can put my finger in there. I can put my finger in here. This is what I would hold it. And if I just swing it around, the air gets compressed and moved and you can get sounds. Now, if you're fast enough, you can get more than one sound. I usually can only get 2 or 3, but let me try and see what happens. Now, let me see if I can, I don't know if I can get it faster or not. It's bouncing. I can get it to two sounds, but I think if I was fast enough and strong enough and I could swing it hard enough, I could add a third that would be a higher pitch. Now, what's making the sound? Well, the air is being compressed and it's being pushed because of the swinging action. If I just blew into a tube and there was nothing else going on, all you'd hear would be, I blew into a tube. You'd hear a little airy sound, but you wouldn't get any sound out of it. You have to have the sound and the air going all in one direction. That's taken care of. I'm going to put this here for now. This is a fife. I've had it here before. And what's good about it is that you can see that it's blocked off, or maybe you can't see, but I'm going to put my conductor's pad on down here, and this is as far as I can get it. That's a little below where the what the metal piece is, and that stops the air from going in that direction. If I blow it across like that, actually, if I were playing a flute or playing it properly, I would hold it like this. It would be going to my right side. I would be blowing across this tone hole. The tone hole is only just a circle. That's what they are for a fife, just a circle, and they're flat to the wood, which is why I bring this one so often so I can demonstrate it. But this is blocked off in here, so the air has to go in that direction, which is what it's supposed to do. Now, some of the air, if I blow, will go across the mouthpiece, and you're going to get not all of it going in the instrument, but some of it will just blow across. The rest of it will blow down here because this is blocked off. It can't get the other way. And then I use my hands and my fingers, and I finger the notes, and you get the notes that way. Now, if you're playing recorder, or an instrument like recorder, like the flutophone and other instruments, you know, the song flutes, the tonettes and so forth, they all are blocked off by your mouth. This is a little LMI. And it's a student model, but it does really quite well. And sometimes I just carry it with me to have it because it's not as expensive as some of my other instruments, but I can demonstrate the same kinds of things. Now, in terms of playing fifes or instruments that that the air can go in both directions, they do have to be blocked off in one direction. So if you take the flute, I don't have one with me, I couldn't carry so much. I don't have the flute, but you'll notice on the flute, pictures I've had of the flute, there's kind of an end cap, so it can only go one direction. The piccolo is the same, of course, and any of the other instruments that you have to blow across. I brought fifes in here before so you can see. Now, I'd also want to bring this, the vuvuzela. It's an Australian instrument. And here again, you blow in one end, so that stops the air from going in both directions. I don't know if I should try it. I've had some problems with my voice lately. It takes a lot of air, but I'll try it a little bit. I won't get much out of it. That's all I can do. I had high-risk surgery and they damaged the voice box, or they damaged nerves to the voice box. They say it will heal, but it'll take maybe 6 months to a year to heal it. So I'm just waiting, and it is getting a little better, so I'm not discouraged about it at all. But in the meantime, I have to be careful not to do too much with my voice, but I have to do some or it's just going to stagnate. So anyway, this is the vuvuzela. It makes a terrific sound, sometimes 2 or 3 sounds, but it's not really you blow it in like a trumpet, but it really isn't a trumpet. But I thought I would bring it in. It was featured in one of the Olympics in Australia. Everybody's stat in the stands had one, and when somebody did something that was good, they would all blow them at the same time, and it would make a terrific sound. When my voice is in good shape and I play it, I can make it sound like a trombone. That's what I think it sounds like. But anyway, this is the vuvuzela. Now I want to show you another instrument. I thought I had 2 of them with me. I only had 1. This is a melodica, and I've used it and brought it in some. You have to blow into it to make it play, and there are 2 ways that you can blow it. I can attach to it this little mouthpiece that's like this, and all I do is put it in, I blow in it, and then I press the keys. You notice that it has a music stand. That's removable because most of the time when I'm playing it, I wouldn't be using the music stand. For one thing, it's too small to hold any music, and for another thing, it would get in the way of your fingers. So if I pull this out, but I wanted to show it to you anyway, then I just can use it in both hands and play it. Now, if I want to put it in my lap and play it, there is a way to do that. I take this out, and I put in this little hose-like thing, and once I get this set up, it doesn't always stay like it's supposed to, but this is kind of old. Put it in my lap, put the hose in my mouth, and just blow it and play. It has kind of a nice little tone, and it plays like a piano. It looks a little like a piano because it has the typical 3 black notes, 2 black notes, 3 black notes, 2 black notes. And as I've told you before, if you want to know what notes are what, if you take any of the 2 and you play it to the left, it's going to be a C. That note is always going to be a C. And you go 2 more down, B and A. That's the A, B, C. Or for the A, you can take the 3 notes, take the last one on the right, or the first one on the right, whatever you want to call it, and the one to the left is immediately to the left is going to be an A. So when you do your notes, you're going to either do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then immediately switch back to A, or C, D, E, F, G, and then A again. And that's how you figure out what some of the notes are. It's fairly easy to do on an instrument that's this size. One thing it has is a strap in the back. I can always hold it by the strap like this, and then I would have to have the hose or something here to blow on, which I've taken out, and then play with my right hand. So you could do it that way as well. They're very, very handy. I've used them a lot. I have another one that I thought I brought with me, but I can't find it, so I think I left it at home. And it has the same kind of an arrangement. It looks like a miniature keyboard. And of course you have guitars too, which I don't happen to own one. The guitar is like a guitar, but it's got a keyboard on it, so people will hold it almost like a guitar, and then they play it. Now, I have seen one orchestra where a person has a very large one, holds it up, and then plays it, you know, like in this position, and plays it. And they'd be able to reach the notes fairly easily, because even though it is long, it's not going to stretch out the whole length of your arm. Very, very handy. I do like these instruments. I've used them a lot, and I do want to show them to you. If you don't have a piano, but if you're a teacher, and I think all teachers should show things about keyboards, because that's the basis of all of our music, that I think that that's a very handy thing to have. So now I want to go into the anatomy of the, I have a reason for doing this. I've gone over the anatomy of instruments before, if I'm calling it the anatomy, but the internal structure of the recorder. I want to review this with you, and then I'm going to show you. I've talked about the fipple and the block and stuff like that, the labium. I want to show you that again in diagrams. I'm going to show you a couple of translucent instruments I brought over, and then I want to show you a real fipple. I have an instrument where the whole top came off. I don't know why, but it did. So you get a chance to see the whole thing that I've been talking about all this time. So let's take a look at this chart. The mouthpiece up here. This opening is the labium. This part of the labium is the lip, and the lip has a little slant to it. This part that's darkened is the window. This area is the bore. This whole thing is the windway, and this to this is the head joint. Most instruments will have three parts: the head joint, the body, and the foot joint. Even the flutes have that, and some of the other regular instruments have that. So this is going to be the head joint right here. This is going to be the body of the instrument, and this is going to be the foot joint right here. Now, some instruments are made so you can't pull them apart like that, but that's all right. They still do the same thing. It just means it's not so easy to clean, and that you're limited in the way that you handle them, but they still can play just as much as if they were, you know, able to be pulled apart. The back side of the instrument has that little hole here. It's called a thumb hole. It's just a thumb hole, a hole for your thumb. And so it's a thumb hole, a tone hole, either one. This is the block in the back of the instrument. So let me get one of the recorders here. Maybe I'll take this one. I mean, this one plays well. I usually have a white one with me, but I decided to bring this instead. So here's your head joint where my fingers are. Well, maybe I should take a lighter one. You'll see it better. This is the head joint. This is, if I move ahead, you'll see this is a little labium. This is, you can see, I hope you can see there's a little slant in that labium. And that is part of the mouthpiece. Now the block, if I were to take, oh, I better stick with this, I guess. The block is not visible on some of these instruments, but usually it is visible. It's usually just a little bit different color than the regular mouthpiece is. If I hold this up, and we get a shot, if we can, of it. He's going to set that up, so I'm just going to wait for him to do that. There will be a line right here. Yeah, you can kind of see that line. It's better in the blue one, I guess we decided, so let me take the blue one. You can see the line right down the middle, can't you? That's in the inside of the instrument. Because this is translucent, you can see it. If I turn it to the side and we catch this right, you can see the shape of the block in the inside. It looks like it's following the shape of the instrument. It's curved here. It's flat down on the front, and you can almost see it like in shadow, if I get this just right. I think that's about as good as we're going to get it. Then turn it to the front. The labium is right here. It looks open. The labium is a little bit slanted. That's not going to show much. I can't help that. You see the line in the front. And let me, just for the fun of it, show you the others and see what we can pick up on them. This is a translucent orange ones. And you can see it's almost like a shadow. You can see the line. If I turn it to the front, you can still see the line if I can catch it just right. The labium is real clear. There's a little slant. If I hold it just right, you can see there's a little slant to that. That's called the lip. It's a labium, but the part of it is called the lip. It's a very simple design. Now that's coming in real good. Can you? Yeah, that's coming in real good. Do you see it's like the shadow of the block, and the inside it's just a little bit darker than what the orange outer part is? And when you blow, the air comes right down here. It's squeezed right down here in front of the block to go out of the labium right here. Now, some of the other instruments that I've brought to you, like the ocarinas and so forth, they may have their labium in the back, but it's all designed and it's on the same kind of principle. I did bring one of the pink ones with me. Let's see if we can get that. Pardon? Ah, there we go. You can see a little bit of it. You can see it looks like there's a tiny shape of something that's not exactly the same as the outside. It's harder to see the pink one. There's a line right there. Whoops, let me put it this way. You can see kind of a lip there. Now let me show you some other charts, and then I'm going to show you another instrument I have where the top actually comes off so you can see them. So I'm going to just go down here. This is the picture that I want right here. Let's see. We'll just get that set up. This is probably the best sketching that I've got of what the internal workings of the recorders are. They all work about the same. Yeah, that's good. Look at this one here. This would be the block right here. Usually it's colored a little darker than what the mouthpiece is. And then you have the labium right here, and the lip is a little bit slanted. The rest is the window. This is the airway and the bore. If you look at this picture, which I took out of a magazine, you can see this would be the whole head joint. This is the block, and then the air gets squeezed down here. This is the outer shell. This one gets squeezed down here. The labium window is right here. The lip is right here, and this is the bore. And here's another diagram that I found, that I sketched out. This is the block, and you see it goes down a ways, and it follows the mouthpiece. It is actually a part of the mouthpiece. Your lip is right here. The window is right here. That's the labium. So that's the natural parts of the instrument. Now, what I want to show you, I picked up the other day, I don't know what happened, but I picked up the other day this is a Renaissance recorder. It's put out by LMI, and it plays just like any other recorder, but the style of it would be like the style of a Renaissance. Well, I picked it up and I moved the head, and lo and behold, the whole head came off. This is the inner workings right here. So I want to show you that. This here, which is the mouthpiece, actually is like a little case that fits on top of it. Once this came off, now I would never put it off on my own. I would never do that. I would be afraid of injuring the instrument. But if you look at it, it came off on its own. And I thought, boy, this is really good, because now I get a chance to show you the real thing and not just a diagram. This right here, maybe I'll just hold it over here. The top of this is the fipple. It's called the fipple. And if I show it to you on one side, you can...
Pull it into your sweater, Pat.
Pardon?
More towards into your towards your sweater, yeah.
Okay.
Having a hard time getting focused on it.
Is this all right?
That's good, right there. Yep.
Okay, we'll keep it right there then. And then that'll be good. Yeah, that's perfect. Very, very good. Now you can see as I twist it to one side, I'll try not to move it much, this follows the shape of the recorder mouthpiece, doesn't it? It kind of comes down and it kind of folds out a little. This whole piece right here, this white piece, is the Fipple mouthpiece. And then if you put it to one side, you can see how it's shaped like the recorder mouthpieces because they do go down and then they kind of turn out. If I turn to the back of it, you can see the whole back of it. Now, I'm going to hold it up. Whoops, I got to get it in position here. There is a hole right there. Good. That goes down into the windway. That's the hole that goes down into the windway. There's nothing in it except the tube. And I can put my finger in it a little. I wouldn't put my finger in it a lot because it would be blocked. There'll be another piece. You know, I don't think you're going to be able to see this on the television, but there's another piece that goes around, and it's like a solid round piece, so the air can't go down below that, except it goes through the labium. And you can see it. Okay, you see it. You see that round piece in the middle? That's part of the block, and that stops it. It stops the air from just going down the tube without being squeezed out of the labium. So you blow it in the air, you blow it in the Fipple mouthpiece, you can actually see the crack that you used to blow into. And when you see that blow into it, it will go down here, and it will go down to the labium, which is right here, whoops, and out. And you can see that labium, it has that slant right there. That is the lip. That is the lip. And then above that is that little darkened area. That is the window. Now, you might find the shape a little bit different in different instruments, but I think this is really good because you get a chance to see it. And then on top of that, it kind of narrows down, and this is the Fipple. This is the mouthpiece to that Fipple, the Fipple mouthpiece I keep talking about. Everybody thinks I'm crazy when I say this instrument has a Fipple mouthpiece. They think it sounds odd, but that's what it is. So if I hold it here, labium, the lip of the labium, the window of the labium, this is the Fipple mouthpiece. This is the Fipple right here. And then if I twist it, you can see you blow in here, and there is a little block, that round block. If I put my conductor's baton, I can't get beyond it, but it's directing the air. The air is going to go down here, and it's going to go down the Fipple, but part of it goes down the windway, and then you have your tone holes, and you play it. Now, I could probably play it just this way, but I'm not going to because it has a cap. This cap is what you consider to be the mouthpiece right here. And you can see that round part, how it goes down a little and then it kind of flattens out. This is exactly what this Fipple does. It's right here, and then it goes around and it flattens out. Yeah, I can see it better there. It goes down here, and then it kind of takes a curve, and it flattens out. This fits right on top of it. And it's supposed to be solid, and it's supposed to stay there. For some reason, this has loosened up, so I won't play this instrument again, but in a way, I'm glad that it happened because you have a chance to see what I've been talking about, and not just from a sketch. You see the labium, you see the window in the labium, you see the lip of it, you see the Fipple mouthpiece, you see how it's shaped, and this is like a case that goes over it. And then you have that round section, it's like a little block on the inside, And when I show you, well, I don't have much time left, but when I show you this, you can see sometimes the line of it. You may not be able to see the whole thing, but if you are sitting as close to it as I am, you'd be able to see it. So we are just about out of time. We don't have much time left. And so I'm going to close it here, and I'm going to continue with this. So please join me next time.